Good afternoon, everyone. Grant Cohn here. Day 10 of training camp wrapped up a few hours ago. I got some business to take care of, some topics I want to discuss. Then I'll take your calls till 7 o'clock. So let's get right into it so I don't take up too much time because it's your show. It's the Cohn phone. Let's get right into it. Let's go. Okay. So it seems like there's a perception among media, among a lot of people, that Jimmy Garoppolo is sort of pulling away in the quarterback competition, if there ever was one. That Jimmy Garoppolo is really outplaying. I don't really know what the narrative is. It's either that Jimmy Garoppolo is outplaying Trey Lance, or that Trey Lance isn't ready, or both. And it's based on the fact that Jimmy Garoppolo played well in front of the fans at Levi Stadium yesterday and played well today when half the defense was out. So I figured I would address that real quick because it seems like that's the accepted narrative right now. Jimmy Garoppolo outplaying Trey Lance, pulling away in this quarterback competition, really putting to bed the idea that there ever was a quarterback competition and really forcing Lance into a backup role until 2022 at the earliest. Seems to be the narrative that the Niners want to push. And I'm saying they want to do that because they want people to think that Jimmy Garoppolo is a high-level quarterback, top 12, top 10. So I just thought it would be informative to share the numbers, the stats from practice. These are my stats that I've kept. I encourage you to ask any beat writer to share their numbers. I'm sure we'll be all close within about 4 or 5. So what I have is through 10 days of camp, Jimmy Garoppolo, 89 of 141. That's a modest 63%, respectable. I think league average is 64%. I'm going to check that. 63% in practice, 5 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. That's about standard for Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm not saying he's playing bad. I mean, that's what he's doing. He's playing with an offense that doesn't have really any injuries. Everyone's out there. Debo missed a day. Juszczyk missed a day today. But mostly everyone's been out there. And those are his numbers. 63% completions, 5 touchdowns, 3 picks. Okay. Trey Lance. He's 82 of 118. That's 69% completions. 9 touchdowns, 7 throwing, 2 rushing, 2 interceptions. Now, of course, Trey Lance is playing with the backups, and Jimmy Garoppolo is playing with the starters. So it's hard to compare. But to say that Jimmy Garoppolo is winning the quarterback competition, based on what? I don't understand that one. I'm not trying to put down James. James is a good guy, and he's performing well at camp. He's being a pro. I respect it. It's not his fault that he's not as good as Trey Lance. I'm sorry. It's not his fault that he's not as good as Trey Lance, and it's not my job to go to camp and try to create a compelling drama where one day Jimmy's better than him and one day Trey Lance is. Nah, man. I mean, no. Trey Lance is better than Jimmy Garoppolo every day. It's just that the 49ers are working overtime to make Jimmy Garoppolo look really good because they have to trade him. So what happened was last week, they installed the whole Trey Lance offense. Zone reads from a million different looks. Zone reads where he's faking to the running back, faking to the wide receiver, faking to the running back, and then running an option with the wide. I mean, faking a handoff and then throw like triple. I've never saw so many options in my life. I don't even want. I couldn't even give away half of it if I wanted to. There are going to be types of options can make you draw a drop. New stuff. Also, all the play action stuff with movement that Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't offer. It's a whole different offense for Trey Lance. They installed it last week in front of the media. That's when everyone was like, oh my God, this guy's Patrick Mahomes and Russell Wilson in one. Wow, this guy's great. The Niners really got the pick right. He completed like 20 of 22 passes at one point. He was destroying the 49ers defense with, Trent Sherfield and Ross Dwelly and Richie James Jr. and JaMychal Hasty and Wayne Gallman. That's who he most of the time was dicing up the Niners and his legs. So, I mean, that narrative got pretty big. And now I think the Niners are trying to make it seem like, well, if Jimmy's even better than Trey, then maybe Jimmy's worth a first-round pick. So now, instead of letting Trey Lance do the offense that he's going to be doing during the season and that he was crushing the Niners with, they're going back to the Jimmy offense, the vanilla offense, which they're going to use week 1 against the Chiefs, not week 1, preseason game 1 against the Chiefs. So in that case, I mean, today Trey Lance was 8-12 with 2 drops. Like, he's also playing well. I don't understand where the narrative's coming that he's not playing as well. Kind of strange. But so he's 8-12 with 2 drops, and so that make him 10-12 basically. So yeah, I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo's playing well. It's just you're not getting the big plays out of Trey Lance because the offense is quick throw, like play action, dump it in the flat or slant, or it's just a bunch of short stuff. Because what we're going to see, I think, in the preseason game is Jimmy Garoppolo getting the ball out of his hands as quickly as possible. A lot of the stuff we saw the last 2 days, and hope. I think the Niners are going to hope that some people in the media make a big deal out of him throwing these quick throws, and that they drive up the Jimmy Garoppolo hype. That's what we're going to see, I think. I don't think the Niners are going to show off all the Trey Lance stuff. And I mean, of course, they're not going to show that stuff off in preseason, right? You never do that. You keep it vanilla. So I don't know if Trey Lance is really going to have an opportunity to wow people. But if they pull this off with Jimmy and really create a narrative that he's playing great, and I think they're almost pulling it off. A lot of people believe this. They just might get the offer they want for him, the first-round pick. I'm telling you, once Houston trades Deshaun Watson, anything is possible. And the Niners know it. So instead of getting Jimmy Garoppolo ready for a full season of being a starter, they're benching all their defensive players and saying, Jimmy, you're going to have a good practice today. We are going to make sure. I love it. Jason Verrett, you are playing too well. Take a day off. Jimmy Ward, playing too well. Take a day off. Those two broke up like 8 passes yesterday. Benched. Get the heck. Who do you think? Have we not explained what the goal of the offseason? We are trying to trade Jimmy Garoppolo, and you're over here breaking up his passes? Do you know that they're charting his completions? What are you thinking? Jason, stop being so selfish. You think I'm joking. You think I'm joking. And then they get benched, and Jimmy Garoppolo goes up against Fred Warner, and then they benched him for like 2 or 3 series. They're like, Fred, we talked about this. We talked about this. Paying you $19 million a year. Can't you just go? Can't you just make Jimmy? Come on. Even Emmanuel Mosley, he's like, not on my watch. He broke up like 3 passes today, 2 or 3. It's like, nah, sorry, Jimmy. You're going to have to throw on Dante Johnson today. I'm not going to let you do that. It's just that Jimmy throws the ball like 40 miles. It's like 40 miles an hour. It's really soft. And when he's going up against backups, man, he shreds those guys, especially because he has all the starters around him. Man, you got to love how the Niners are pulling this off. It's not easy. It's not easy, man. Because the perception is that Jimmy makes people better. He doesn't. The Niners prop him up. He's on a great offense, and he limits it. So they're propping, man. There is some serious proppage going on right now. I respect it. I just think you guys should know the truth. I mean, come on. Trey Lance is better than Jimmy Garoppolo. Have I said that? Okay. Here's what I want to say, though. Let me have some LaCroix real quick. I'm thirsty. Oh, so good. Okay. Oh no, I should answer some questions, huh? You guys ask some questions. I should ask some questions. But then I'm gonna answer. I'm gonna talk about what I want. Hold on. My accepted narrative is the pump and dump is in full effect. Grant, could they be doing a better job at it? No, I think they're doing a great job. I mean, they're really getting the media to help them pump, which is amazing because it's like you can go and watch and use your eyes. But some people don't want to use their eyes. Some people are like, well, let's look at both sides. Hey, let's be nice. Let's say Jimmy played well too. The Niners clearly want us to pump up Jimmy Garoppolo. So why don't I do that? And you know what? It'll make me seem unbiased. It's like, no, man, just report your honest perception. You can do that. It's okay. That's what I try to do. Usually end up being right. Anyway. Okay. Why the Niners aren't all in for 2021. It seems to me that the Niners have to trade Jimmy Garoppolo and use that cap space on more players to really say that they're putting their best foot forward for this year. I know it sounds a little weird because a team has never won a Super Bowl with a rookie quarterback or even gone to a Super Bowl. But I would argue if the Niners could move Jimmy Garoppolo and use that $27 million on 3 or 4 depth pieces, 4 or 5, still guys out there, you can make trades, that they would put together the best team ever assembled around a rookie quarterback. That's my argument. And they have a very good rookie quarterback. So, yeah, they'd be trying to do something that's never been done, but I think they could be the first team that does it. I think Trey Lance could be the first quarterback that does it. And I think that it's going to get done fairly soon because these rookie quarterbacks have this lowered salary and they're really good. And I think it's going to happen soon. Almost happened. Uh, well, yeah, I think it's going to happen soon. Why not Lance? Russell Wilson went pretty deep in the playoffs as a rookie. It wasn't his fault they didn't win. It was the fault that they still had Matt Flynn on the roster. Anyway, so what they're doing, the Niners, they're hedging. They want Jimmy, if they keep Jimmy Garoppolo and Trey Lance on the team, what they're doing is they're all in to make the playoffs. They're thinking, gee, if we trade Jimmy and Trey Lance gets hurt, well, then we got to go to Josh Rosen and Nate Sudfeld. We haven't even given them any work in training camp. So, then we could be in a situation where because of an injury, just like the other years, we missed the playoffs and God knows what'll happen. I mean, maybe Jed York gets emotional and fires one of us. I don't know. Or both. So what I think by keeping both quarterbacks, you do give yourself a very good chance of making the playoffs because if one quarterback gets hurt, you got a starting caliber quarterback on the bench. So you should make the playoffs. But the way I see it is you're not going to win the Super Bowl with this configuration. It's the most expensive quarterback room in the league, $34 million, 17.5% of the cap space. That would be a record. So either way, you're trying to set a record. First team to win with a rookie quarterback, first team to spend this much on a quarterback room. I just don't think you can win that way when you have teams, juggernauts like the Kansas City Chiefs and the Tampa Bay Bucks spending not that much on their quarterbacks. Chiefs spending 5.5%, Bucks spending 7.8%, Niners spending 17.7%. So it's like if they keep both of them, you're in a situation where they either have their first round pick, number 3 overall on the bench, third best player in the draft on the bench, your top draft pick not playing, or $27 million on the bench. One way or the other, it's too much. You need to use those resources. If the Niners are going to win the Super Bowl this year, their first round pick, who was the third pick in the draft, needs to be playing. Needs to be good. And that $27 million can't be parked on the bench. It needs to be put to use. Because the Chiefs and Bucks are built that way. Cheap quarterback rooms, really expensive rosters filled out with depth. If you want to win the Super Bowl, you got to do the same thing. And the Niners could. They're right there. They're like a couple moves away. They might want to. I think they do. But I hope that they're not thinking, well, if we don't get the first round pick for Jimmy, let's just hold on to him and at least ensure that we go to the playoffs, even though deep down we know we're really not built to win the Super Bowl, spending $34 million in quarterbacks and kind of hedging and keeping both these guys and either keeping the first round pick on the bench or $27 million on the bench. But at least we'll make the playoffs and get Jed York off our back. That's not exciting. Fans don't want to hear that. Fans want to hear that you're all in for the Super Bowl every year. It's year 5. Go for it. You brought the quarterback in. Make a decision. None of your fans want to watch you play 2 quarterbacks this year. I put a poll on Twitter. Should the Niners use a 2 quarterback system? 70% of the people said no. No one wants to see that. It could divide the team, could divide the fan base, could divide the locker room, could make Kyle Shanahan become the villain in town. Trey Lance is the hero. He's the guy he's Frodo right now. Okay? Jimmy had his chance to go to Mordor and get rid of the ring. He fumbled the ring. The ring fell down the mountain. Couldn't get it in the volcano. He had his chance. He lost. Now it's Trey's turn to carry the ring to Mordor. He's the hero now. Kyle, you brought him in. Don't be the guy that gets in the way of him playing. No one really wants to see Jimmy Garoppolo anymore. Move him. Trey Lance is outplaying him in camp. Or you could say he's just as good. Make a decision. It's time. Go all in. Be brave. Be a hero. Don't be the villain. Like Doug Peterson last year. Couldn't decide on the quarterback. Split the locker room. Got fired. I'm just saying, be bold. Sala says, Grant, what's the best offer you think the Niners have gotten for Jimothy this offseason? I don't know, like a 6th. Probably really, really bad. But if he just has a couple more practices where people say he's way better than Lance and then plays well in the preseason, who knows? Maybe they'll get something good. I don't know. Todd says Kyle making Juwan and Richie millionaires for dropping Trey's dimes. Seriously, man. Maybe they told him, hey, you just drop a couple passes. Come on, man. He's playing too well. We got to control the narrative here. Camelot's Red and Gold says, rumor mill Jaguars may be willing to trade CJ Henderson. You think we should be in on that? Yes. Yes. Hell yeah. They should trade for CJ Henderson. But the Niners are like, waiting on Jimmy. You remember that movie, Waiting for Guffman? The Niners are waiting for Garoppolo. They got to move him before they can move on. Yes, they should trade CJ Henderson, but they'll probably miss out because Jimmy's out here. Devin says the offense with Jimmy is based off the run game, short passes, and RPOs. And Jimmy at his best was a 2-to-1 TD-INT ratio guy. Trey can do that and run. Exactly. You'll see eventually. Hold on. Do you see them eating 10 to 15 million salary in order to get the right trade package? Run some risky business and risk injury, poor play. I think they should, but I also kind of wonder if they're going to ride the fence, keep both quarterbacks to ensure they make the playoffs, and ultimately fall short, losing the first or second round. That's what I think it's possible they're going to do. I mean, maybe that's what Jed created. If Jed gave him an ultimatum, I don't know if he did, but if he said you guys have to make the playoffs this year, then maybe they'll do something like this. Keep both quarterbacks and be like, all right, we're going to make the playoffs. But don't expect a Super Bowl. I mean, as fans, that's what they're saying by keeping both quarterbacks. You can't win a Super Bowl spending $34 million on a position where only one guy plays. I mean, the Seahawks try every year and fail. The Niners don't have Russell Wilson. I like Trey Lance, but he ain't Russell Wilson yet. And Jimmy Garoppolo, Pat says, do you think that Jimmy is aware that they are purposely making it easier on him to raise his value? I wonder. It's like, Jimmy, how many defensive players do we need to bench today? Okay. Do we need to bench Emmanuel Mosley too? Emmanuel Mosley is too much? Okay. I mean, we already sat down Jason Verrett, Jimmy Ward, D Ford. But we could set Mosley down too. How about Warner? All right, just okay. You are okay. Maybe. Chargers camp is going to expose Jimothy. I'm going to be there. I cannot wait. Really can't wait. Okay, let's keep going. I asked Kyle Shanahan if Nick Bosa's on track to play week 1. Kyle Shanahan said, I think so. He's supposed to be. No setbacks. I still think that it's all up to Nick Bosa, and his camp will decide when he plays. And I think Kyle Shanahan was basically saying, last I heard from his camp, the answer was, yeah, week 1. But you never know what they're going to say. I just don't understand what the plan is for him. Like, everyone hates my Nick Bosa take this offseason. If he plays 75% of the snaps week 1, I'll just apologize. But I just find the whole thing very strange. Okay, like, well, here's what he does at camp. Some days he comes out with his shirt rolled up all the way, his little shorts rolled up all the way, gold Jordans on, and a gold chain, and kind of like struts through the stretch line and the little drills where you practice, getting in your stance and all the little, basically the layup line stuff of football. He does that, and then everyone else goes and does like the hard work where you could get hurt, and he doesn't do that. He just keeps doing, layups and stuff, basically. And, he's off in the side field looking special, off by getting one-on-one coaching. And then that's it. And then he'll come out the next day and do it again. But then he'll also have days like today where he doesn't even show up. Like, he'll have a maintenance day. This was his 3rd maintenance day out of 10 where he's just not there. So it's like he's like 2 days on, 1 day off. But the 2 days on, he doesn't even do anything. He'll have 2 days where he kind of like jogs around, never goes full speed at all, never goes full bore at anything, and then takes a full day off. Wow. You're not even doing anything, and you need a full day off. Okay, you're just being careful. That's fine. But you're basically not having a training camp, and you're going to play week 1. Okay, is he that good that he needs no training camp? Well, maybe. I think Nick and his camp know what they're doing. I just think it's very interesting that it's very, what's the opposite of aggressive? Conservative. And Kyle Shanahan was like, yeah, I think so. Anyway, Trey Lance's fumbled exchanges. Is this an issue? I think it is. They want to implement him as like a second quarterback who comes in and runs his own read, but he fumbles the zone read all the time. So is that a problem? Yeah, absolutely. Kyle Shanahan even said today, if he can't do it without fumbling, we can't run the play. So yeah. And he also said it's not just an issue of Trey Lance, it's an issue of like him and the running back getting feel for doing the play. And he said, if you only dabble in it, you're gonna fumble all the time. And so far, they're just kind of dabbling in it. They just started installing it last week, and the last couple of days they run about 2 a day, and they're basically dabbling because they're into vanilla Jimmy Garoppolo offense mode. Also, Trey Lance is running this with JaMychal Hasty, Wayne Gallman, Elijah Mitchell, which is fine. That's because Trey Lance is on the second team offense. If they're going to use him in games, then he's going to be running this in games with Trey Sermon and maybe Raheem Mostert too, although Raheem Mostert's way better from under center I formations. Trey Sermon is the guy who played in the shotgun in college, and I bet the Niners drafted him because they want to use the zone read in the NFL with Trey Lance, and that's not necessarily Mostert's game. Nothing against Mostert. I'm just saying it's Sermon's game, and maybe Mostert will be great at it too, but they know that that's what Sermon does. So this is something they want to do. And Trey Lance is getting no reps with Trey Sermon in camp running it. They might want to do that. I know they don't want to show Trey Lance with the starters because I'll write it and they're worried about Jimmy Garoppolo's trade value. But hey, you're going to play Trey Lance one way or another. You said it. Get him some reps running this play with the real running backs who are going to be out there. Sermon and Mostert. See what happens. I mean, they may fumble too, but that's the chemistry relationship the Niners need to build up. Maybe it's more of a Gallman Hasty issue than Lance issue. They could find out. Here's the good thing. There's 4 weeks until week 1. So even though I'm getting all upset that they haven't given Trey Lance first team reps, it's still August 8th. There's more than a month away. There's a lot of practices that I won't be allowed to watch. They're going to shut it down in like 3 or 4 days. And they'll give him first team reps. It just won't be in front of the media, obviously. So it is an issue. It would be a bigger issue if it was happening with Mostert and Sermon. Those guys will get reps soon when the media isn't there. And we'll see if it continues to be an issue. I don't know. I'm not making an excuse for Trey Lance. He might be the first guy in a while who can't figure out the zone read. I don't know. Maybe not. But we'll see. Hold on. Yes. The Jedi said, what positions are players you would grab if the Niners got rid of James? I would make a second run at OBJ. Cornerback. And maybe another D-end, man, because I don't know what's going on with Nick Bosa. Samson Ebukom's missed a week. We asked him again, what's up with Samson Ebukom? Oh, his legs are sore. What? His legs are sore for a week, huh? That is hella sore. That's the sorest leg I've ever heard of. Yeah. Also, right guard. Their starting right guard is Daniel Brunskill. They drafted a guy, Aaron Banks, looking like he's not going to start this year. Ominous 24 says the next time you can ask Bosa a question, ask him if he is sure they didn't insert a microchip into his knee to track him during surgery. Whoo, it's funny. It's funny. I think he deserves that. He's going to have to wear that one. Over under on the next time Nick Bosa is made available to the media to talk. He's going to have some explaining to do. I don't think we're going to talk to him for a while. I'm guessing. The work says, hey, Grant, my favorite person watches you all the time. Daryl Harding Jr., will you marry me? I'm already married. Thank you. I didn't get that at all. Odell says, hey, Grant, love the show. I'm just curious. I feel like there's been almost no talk of our draft pick, Jalen Moore. Yeah, and Aaron Banks, the 2 offensive line guys, not playing with the starters. I don't know about that. I haven't seen much. I'll get back to you on that. No pads today, no one-on-ones. I didn't see nothing from him. All right, well, a couple more things. So Trey Lance fumbling exchanges on the zone read. Jimmy Garoppolo's fumbling the snap. Trey Lance has fumbled 5 zone reads. Jimmy Garoppolo has fumbled 4 snaps. And to be fair, it's not just Jimmy. It's Jimmy and Alex Mack. Just like it's not just Trey Lance. It's Trey Lance and the running back. It could be an Alex Mack issue. Although ultimately it's a 49ers issue if those two don't figure it out. And Kyle Shanahan wasn't asked directly about the fumbled snaps, but he was asked about Alex Mack's sweatiness. I don't know which reporter picked up on that and asked about it. I forget, but he was like, yo, Alex Mack's hella sweaty or something. What's up with that towel he has? And like Kyle was like, oh yeah. Matt Ryan used to make him change his pants multiple times during practice. He sweats a lot. So it is really hot in Santa Clara. I'll tell you that. They got to figure that out. I don't know if Jimmy Garoppolo is really going to be the starter this year. Him and Alex Mack, he's got a new center and he's got a sweaty hand. How would you like to be taking the snap from under center and be like, bro, you got to change your pants right now? You got to change your pants, dog. I make $20 million a year. I'm not doing that. Sorry, I'm Matt Ryan. Change your pants. I don't know. I think Jimmy's going to have to assert himself and tell him, hey, be like, dude, 3 pants per practice. Work it out because you're making me look bad. I don't know. But this is equally as serious as the Trey Lance zone read fumble exchange. And no one's willing to talk about it except for me because I go there. I go where other people don't. I'm taking too much time. I got to take calls. Other way, I just wanted to say that Alex Mack, hey, man, you got a perspiration issue. Sounds gross. You got to figure that out. Okay, that's my analysis. It sounds gross. It's gross. Ooh, okay. Stock down, Jalen Hurd. Jalen Hurd, man. He'll have like 3 practices and he'll be doing stuff and you're like, here he comes. Look at him. 6'4". He's such a good athlete. And then he'll make like 1 catch. I think he's made 1 catch in camp so far in a team drill. And you're like, oh, look at that. Look at how he extends to catch the ball. He's going to be so good. Hurt. I don't know if he was hurt. He just wasn't at practice today. And it's like, dude, how do you keep skating by on the bare minimum? How are you really in year 3 of your NFL contract and you still have 0 catches in your career and like 0 catches in camp? How? If we got Jalen Hurd for interview, my first question would be, Jalen, how? My follow-up would be like, how? Tell me. I don't get it. Is he going to make the team with his 1 catch in camp? Be like, man, he's just got so much potential when he puts it all together. I don't think he deserves a spot in the team. If he needs to catch like 2 more passes before he gets a spot in the team, in my opinion. 2 passes minimum. Otherwise, he's practice squad. And based on what he's done, would anyone pick him up? Would he want to play on the practice squad? I don't know. Would he retire? I don't know. Of all the players in the 49ers, he's the one that I question the most if he even likes the sport. I know he's had injuries, but dude, we're going to need to see you play soon, Jalen. Stock down, Jalen Hurd. One more. Josh Rosen. I want to like Josh Rosen. Okay, he threw a 60-yard touchdown pass today. It was a nice throw up the right sideline to Jordan Matthews, and I knew not to tweet about it. I was like, I'm not going to do it because he's going to mess it up later, and I'm going to look dumb for getting my hopes up for Josh Rosen. And guess what? Like 5 minutes later, play breaks down. He goes to extend the play because, got to have that off schedule gene now. Holds the ball, sees someone coming across the field and just throws it late and high over the middle, like right to Tony Jefferson, who kind of cruises in for a touchdown. Oh, man. Whew. Okay, so I don't want to just trash on Josh Rosen. I mean, Kyle Shanahan did that after the practice. He was like, yeah, he's really taking a couple steps back recently. Like, yeah, man, I feel like here's the problem. Forget Josh Rosen. It ain't working out with Josh Rosen. Guys, I was wrong about Josh Rosen. If he has it, this team ain't bringing it out. And now he's going to be 0 for 4 with teams he's been on. But here's the thing. He shouldn't be an unknown right now. Why is he on this team? They brought him in last year didn't play him, let Nick Mullins go, didn't get an experienced backup in case they want to trade Jimmy Garoppolo. They got Nate Sudfeld and Josh Rosen. And they're like, all right, well, we know Nate Sudfeld isn't, good enough to play. God forbid. But he could run our scout team and be our third string quarterback. And we have no idea what to expect from Josh Rosen. We know that he's flamed out in 3 places. We know that he had talent, was a number 10 pick in the draft. He's a total unknown. They could have played him the last 2 games of the season. Instead, they played CJ Beathard, who's on the Jaguars now. What was the point? What did you learn? How did you help your franchise by playing CJ Beathard? They could have played Josh Rosen and seen that he's awful or whatever. Maybe he would play well. More likely, he would bomb and he wouldn't be on the team right now. And you would know, hey, you know what? We don't need to re-sign Josh Rosen. He's a waste of time. Let's let him go and bring someone in who can help us, a good backup. Just in case someone gets desperate and offers us a first for Jimmy, and we want a backup better than Nate Sudfeld. They could have figured this out a long time ago. Those last 2 weeks starting CJ Beathard, it was a mistake. It was a mistake. They could have learned valuable information about Josh Rosen, namely the information that they shouldn't have him on the team and get someone else. But no, they're like, we'll give Josh Rosen like 20 throws in training camp, and then we'll figure it out based off that. Oof. Stock down, Josh Rosen. Anyway, they'll just keep Jimmy Garoppolo as a backup. It'll be all good. No problem, man. They got it. They got the $27 million backup, so it's all good. All right, let me answer these couple of questions, and then I'll take your call. Thank you for listening to my rants today. I got excited. Hold on. There's like 2 or 3. Why aren't you a coach? Like, for real, you'd be a great coach. Thanks. Because I like being an asshole better. It seems like it's harder to be a coach. Coaches work really hard. They don't get paid that much money. It's a thankless job. I respect the hell out of, especially position coaches, man. Those people make like 100, 200 grand a year to work like 7 in the morning to 11 at night, 7 days a week. Those guys are serious. Really respect them. Thank you, though. I'll just chill at home and talking voices on YouTube. It's more my speed. And it's lucrative. Jerry says Ford says he's healthy and never thought about retiring. How does he look? I'm sorry. Don't know if you already talked about this. He looks great. Let's just see how long he makes it through football games without getting hurt. He looks great. He has a lot of incentive to keep rehabbing and playing because the Niners keep giving him like $17 million a year. So, I mean, he doesn't seem to mind getting injured and coming back. He's healthy now. I don't want to speak negativity into existence. I'm just a little skeptical that he can play a lot of football without getting hurt. He's not really doing much now. He'll get like 8 snaps in a team drill. Today, he didn't do nothing. Not nothing, to use a double negative. Sign Kaepernick to back up. Can you imagine? Ella wouldn't have to 2 different offenses. What about this? Trade Jimmy to the Texans for a pick and Tyrod Taylor. How about that? Think about that. I like that. Tyrod Taylor's a good quarterback. Good backup. Trey Niner says, how did the Bears end up with 3 starting quarterbacks? One got to go, and that can be our backup when Jimmy is traded. Yeah, that's a good call. If they get rid of Dalton or Foles, bring that dude in as a backup. Yeah, I like that. When my voice goes up a couple of octaves, that's I like that. Yeah, that's how you know. It feels right. Okay, I'm going to start taking some calls. Let's get down to business. It's in the description. It's in the chat. Thank you for your patience. I had a lot to talk about. Trade Jimmy to Houston for a pick and Tyrod Taylor. I think it's a good idea. This Josh Rosen thing's disappointing now, man. I believed in you, Josh. I believed in you. I don't know if you believed in yourself. What's up?
What up, Grant?
How you doing, man?
Hey, you're killing it. I appreciate all your training camp videos you've been putting out. It's keeping me informed, and I'm loving it.
Thanks, man.
Hey, yeah. And all off season, I've had to hear not only you, but a lot of Niners media talk about Jimmy Garoppolo's trade value. And I've said, look, He doesn't have any trade value.
I know.
He's mediocre. He's overpaid. Why would a team go out and do that? But anyway, I know.
Do you think
why.
it's more likely that they're just going to keep him this year? Like I said, keep 2 quarterbacks and kind of just hope that this means that they make the playoffs.
Yeah, that's what I think they're going to do. It's not what I would do. I would cut Jimmy, right? I'd cut Jimmy. I want the extra 25 mil next year, where that would allow us to really load up this roster. Okay, but that I just wanted to touch on that real quick. What I want to get
very clear on that. I respect that.
And there's something else I've been clear on, Grant. My boy, Arden Key. Did you see this interview today? Were you there for that
there.
one?
He's got a lot of personality. I like him.
That was, I mean, your Jimmy Ward interview was very candid. This one, I mean, he was throwing the Raiders under the bus.
He was like, they're a terrible defense. They didn't fit me at all.
I was just
so glad to get out of there
for that one.
I was like, wow.
Yeah. He said it was a bad system, and you know what? I could see it on tape because he's lining up right in front of the tackle. It's hard to beat a guy when there's no space. Now he's in the wide 9. He's going to have more space to operate. So I really think this scheme is going to bring the best out of him. He's got an array of moves. I've mentioned it before, but I did an Arden Key breakdown on my channel, and I said this guy spends a lot of time around the quarterback.
Dude, the Niners got him and Maurice Hurst. Key's better. Key's the one that really matters from the Raiders for nothing. While the Raiders spent $5 million on Solomon Thomas. And here's the thing. Hold on. So Arden Key's way better than Maurice Hurst. Way better. Maurice Hurst is way better than Solomon Thomas. Maurice Hurst can at least shoot a gap. Okay. He can shoot a gap. I've never seen Solomon Thomas do that in the NFL ever. What Solomon Thomas does, here's his move. He gets blocked every time.
Velcro.
He is Velcro. I don't get it. So, yeah, the Niners really made out good in that deal.
Yeah, the last thing I wanted to ask you, one-on-ones, is he getting by the offensive lineman? Arden Key, how's he looking in the one-on-ones?
Dude, he's going against Trent Williams a lot, which is tough. When he goes up against Sean Coleman, he does well because Sean Coleman sucks. So it's a little hard to tell, but he just looks – he's so tall. He's got the long arms. If you squint, he looks like Alden Smith. He's you know what I mean? He's got the 6'4" with the long arms, the classic pass rusher look that even Nick Bosa doesn't have. So he's got potential in with this scheme and Chris Kosterick. I think it's going to work. The reason it didn't work with Solomon Thomas is, again, not good. It's not Chris Kosterick's fault. If Solomon Thomas was any good, Chris Kosterick would have shown it. Yeah,
we would have got it out of him.
Yep.
Hey, Grant, thanks for taking my call. I'll catch you next time.
All right, man. See you next time. All right. I'm going to jump around a little bit, but I'm going to get everyone. Jeremy, what's up?
Hey, what up, Grant?
What's up? How you doing, man?
Hey, nice I'm good. I'm ready. You know I'm ready, man. I'm ready. Man. So let's talk about 2 things. Let's talk about the Warriors.
Nah, another time. We'll save that for the Discord.
No, that was a joke. That was a joke.
That was funny.
So you briefly touched on the whole Jalen Hurd thing. And somebody said something about making a run for OBJ. But you know what I was thinking was, have you seen OBJ's comeback?
No. I'm stuck in Niner land. Bring me into the real world. Tell me.
So he's doing this comeback. He's posting all these comeback videos. He's out there running 100% on it. He's showing you. He's cutting. He's showing you how hard he's.
So he's got something to prove. He's got something to prove.
Right. And he's out there in every practice 100%. And I'm like, well, where the fuck is Jalen Hurd?
I know.
Where's Jalen Hurd?
They could have had Julio Jones. They could make a move for Odell Beckham, but they're still kind of waiting on Jalen Hurd. Enough. And if they ever do make a move for a player, they'll tell you that they finally give it up on Jalen Hurd. I don't see why they keep holding out hope. For what? What have you seen?
I don't get it. And you're saying he's not even at practice?
Today, he wasn't even at practice, which is how did you need an off? What kind of setback did you have? What soreness? Jeez, dude, are you ever healthy, man? You didn't even do that. You don't even do that much. And you're not Nick Bosa. You got to play.
Jeez. And then the second thing I wanted to touch on, I'm going to speak in code.
Okay.
Just follow along.
I got you.
The whole Adam Schefter thing, right?
Yeah.
ruining credibility,
Uh-huh.
right? So you jump, boom. Yeah, I just want to spew it out, and the information was wrong.
Yeah.
STS, it's like a fantasy football abbreviation for
Mm-hmm.
spoke too soon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you
Mm-hmm.
just hang on. How does that work as like you a boss in this media thing, man? You big dog. How does that work? And are you do you have you ever felt like this motherfucker, this Kyle, he could be playing here? Because I don't know, man. What if Jimmy starts the entire season?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. It seems
Right?
like a lot of people who aren't there are very plugged in saying, "Hey, here's what I'm hearing." Um, and so to me, it's like, oh, like you're getting played and they're playing you and you're letting
Yeah.
them play you because you're getting some access. No offense, maybe I would too, but since I don't have access like that, I can sit back and be like, oh, I know what you're doing. I can see it right there. It's
Yeah.
obvious what you're doing. And I
Yeah.
respect it. We all came into the offseason being like, man, they got to find a way to trade Jimmy. How are they going to do it? And we're watching it. You leverage your contacts in the media. You
Yep.
script practice a certain way. I think that's the best you can do. And
They
they're
owe
doing
you
it.
a check. No, I think they owe you a check, man. Big check.
I'll take it.
Yeah, yeah,
I'll
because
take it.
I'm more interested. I honestly, I
Oh, you got muted all of a sudden.
can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. You've carried our entire like organization, through this off season. Besides the draft,
Oh,
so
thanks.
yeah, they owe you a check, man. But I don't know. I'm just thinking about like the because I'm now I got to defend instead of defending Jimmy. I'm riding with the big dog and say no names, dog. I'm not messing with this credibility stuff, man. F that. Because if they play him and he's by game 3, he needs to be gone if there's no good performances, right?
Yeah.
But if
Yeah.
he is balling or doing better than he has ever done,
Mm-hmm.
which is insane.
Uh-oh.
She's calling and she's like, "What do you want to eat?" But if they do play,
Jeremy, I gotta take another call.
take another call. We'll
All
talk
right, man.
about
It's
it.
good to see you, man. Someone's trying to call you.
Yeah,
You need to talk to
always, man.
that.
Discord,
All right, man.
Discord. We'll talk
All
about
right,
this
for
on
sure.
Discord
All
later.
right, later, Jeremy. Jeremy's a good guy. Oh, we got it. Hello.
Hey,
First of all, I just want to say I'm sorry. I just try to be snarky sometimes. I don't mean it.
I
How
know.
you doing?
We have this conversation like 4 days ago,
Yes.
and I know that it's nothing personal. I know that not everyone knows, but I know I don't take it personal. I
Thank
know
you.
that it's football. Nothing is so personal in football.
Thank you.
But
That's
I
a good way to put it.
but I don't want to talk about Timmy
Not today.
because you have
Not
been
today.
doing quite a lot.
You're right. You're right. What are we talking about then?
Um, First,
Okay.
are your mentions so big as mine with Alfredo?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I posted a video of him the other day just running around, and people were very eager to see it. He is very big, right?
Yeah, I mean every time you know he was the rookie hype machine today.
Yes, that was great.
I got that video 10 times. I mean it's
Oh,
not a
nice.
complaint, but it's like, oh my god. Now when you think of him, you think of me. Nice.
Definitely, that's great.
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool.
That's one.
I
And the
like. I think
second,
he's pretty good. I mean, he's got to practice using the full length of his arms when he's in pass protection, but he's huge and he runs well on the run plays. I think he's got potential. He's got
yeah. I
potential.
mean he has
He's the
these
biggest person on
habits
the team.
from how we play football here
Mm.
because usually linemen are the biggest, not necessarily the most muscle man. So
Mm-hmm.
it's different. When
Definitely.
I saw him, I was like, he have some, he had all those habits, but he's going to lose them. I mean,
I
when
think
I
he's
saw that,
improving.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that John Williams say that he saw a lot of potential and that he
Yeah.
was always like asking like, "How did you do that?" Because he says he has been playing from since second grade,
Oh, wow.
and Alfredo has been playing like from the age of 15. So it's a big difference.
Right.
He says that for training, some things are like his second nature. And Alfredo is like, wait, how did you do that? And can you teach me that? And
Real
he's
quick, I
always so
can tell you the
proactive.
difference. Like when Trent
Yes.
Williams is blocking, he can recover because it's like there's the initial block, and then the guy tries to get around you, and then you have to kind of adjust and block him again almost 2 or 3 times. And Trent Williams is the best at that. Alfredo gets the guy the first time. He now has to practice on the second block, the adjustment, and I mean, it's just a process. He's improving.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw that he that Trent, who I consider the best lineman, is like, I'm happy with what I'm seeing. It's like, oh my god, we're making it. And because I mean, I'm Mexican. He's Mexican.
Proud parent.
I want him. Yeah,
course.
I want to see him win.
Hey, this is the same reason I'm rooting for Josh Rosen because I'm Jewish. It's like, come on, dude, represent.
I saw the couple games just because another Mexican is playing.
Yeah.
I mean, am I committed with my people?
I respect it.
I mean, it
got
was a
to.
nightmare, but I saw him. I mean, I wanted to know how much Alfredo could improve compared to. I mean, both are come from the same college and have the same system, and but like Isaac from the Cowboys isn't training with Trent Williams. I mean,
Yeah.
Alfredo is. So
Yeah. It's
going to improve
great
way more.
experience for him. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just to be around Trent Williams. Good call. I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, then, I mean, I think we needed to chat about other things.
I think so too. We get caught up on the same topic all the time.
Yeah.
I know.
I mean,
Anyway.
I think we are the different sides of one coin.
I think so.
You're the more negative. I'm not the more positive.
I agree. I
mean,
and we balance each
but
other
we
out
are.
well.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are the balance of the other.
Is it super hot where you are? Because I'm sweating in my bedroom right now.
I mean, yes and not because it's 8:35.
Ah, I see. 2
So
hours ahead. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
So it's a little bit colder, but it's still hot.
All right. Well, it's a pleasure to see you.
Bye.
I will do
we'll
another
definitely-
Cohn phone on. I'm gonna be doing these training camps
Yeah,
finishing
I
up, so they'll be
miss
back.
them. I miss
They'll be
them.
back. Thank you
I
very
miss
much.
them.
Well,
I
missed
love.
you.
I
Good to
mean,
see
I
you.
serve. This is the moment when I practice my English, so it's great.
All right. Well, you did great.
Thanks.
All right.
I
take
mean,
care.
if you need help with Gutierrez pronunciation, I will be
Gutierrez.
glad to help.
Gutierrez. No, I missed it. I'll practice.
Was better the third time, but
All
it's
right.
getting better.
All right.
The
Thank you.
first time you sound like you were, I don't know how you say it, travelenguas, when you say a lot of words and blah, 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 blah. Gibberish.
I'll practice.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm glad to help. Bye.
Thank
Have
you. See ya.
Have a nice day.
You too. What's up, dude?
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. So it looks like it's been a crazy 2 weeks, right? Crazy 2 weeks for you.
Yeah, I haven't got my hair cut. I just shaved yesterday. I'm trying to keep it together, but not really. You know, I just kind of haven't showered since this morning. I look awful. But anyway, how are you? You look good.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah.
So listen, do me a favor when you're observing the Niners practice. I want you to think about this little nugget for a second. In my mind, I think when Jimmy and Trey started in the beginning of this competition, we'll call it, it looked like Trey was taking it and running with it, and it looks like Trey, from all reports, reading on Twitter, reading on social media, that he's coming back to, kind of coming back to where Jimmy is, and whether that's because it's been
That's a fair way to put it.
scripted, whether
That's a
he's
fair way
with
to put it.
twos,
Yeah.
but you have
That's
to keep in
an
mind,
accurate way to put it. I would say that. Yep.
right?
Well,
And
okay.
I think honestly it is expected because you have to remember the defense probably has 4 years of tape and tendencies on Jimmy. They didn't have any of that with Trey when Trey started, right? So
Right. And
in
they're getting a
practice,
better sense of defending Trey now. Now they've
correct,
seen him.
correct.
Yeah.
So now I think the real test is going to be those scrimmages up and coming with the Chargers, right? Where
Yes.
you're going to have teams that have never seen Trey and aren't familiar with Jimmy like the defense is familiar with Jimmy, right? So I think if Trey performs better than Jimmy at those practices, not even the games, because the games really are just scripted, just going through the tendencies. I think the practices will reveal so much more when he goes against other teams. And if he outshines Jimmy, then I think Kyle's going to have a much better idea of who he wants to start. I think that's
Absolutely.
really, I think that's really going to be the most exciting part. And you're going to those practices,
Oh, yeah.
correct?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I just got my hotel room, staying in Newport. I'm excited.
Very
I
nice.
did.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Excited to treat myself, bring my wife. We'll have a good time.
Good for you. Good for
Yeah.
you. So yeah,
Not saying
I
for the
think
game, though. You kidding?
no.
Flying home for that. Covering
game-
that on TV. Nah. That's a rookie
Game's
move.
going to be scripted and game's going to be
Preseason? Nah.
preseason. No, first preseason game too. No, I think
Second, but it doesn't matter. I'm not.
I'll
no.
second one.
I'm
I
out.
think Kyle honestly is waiting
Yeah.
for Jimmy to play against the other team as well as Trey, and that's where I think he's going to make that decision to say, "Hey, listen, they're neck and neck in practices.
Yes.
That's great, but who goes above and beyond when that defense doesn't know his tendencies as well as our defense?" And
I
then
think that's a great call. That's a great call.
I think then it becomes much more clear. Like, hey, listen, Trey's, he's not doing well, or hey, listen, Jimmy, this is Jimmy's ceiling. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
who we go up against. This is what he's going to give us, and that's 10, 11 wins. But we told Jed we were going to win a Super Bowl. We got a Super Bowl roster right now with a bunch of people on 1-year contracts. We have to do this, right? So I think that's, the giant dilemma, guessing, do they keep a $27 million backup or do they let it ride and bring him in halfway and say, hey, listen, Jimmy, you're great. We paid you. Good luck next year. Or do they ride with Jimmy and cut ties with him? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he plays really good and they hold on to him and get a second round pick for him. I mean, to me, that's going to be very interesting because if Jimmy plays the whole year, you got to think he's going to be worth at least a 2, right? Because they're a 10, 11 win team, maybe a division, conference appearance, maybe NFC championship. You got to think Jimmy's market goes up from a 3rd or 4th rounder at best to a 2nd, right? You would think.
Maybe. Yeah.
Right? And they
think so.
basically wash their hands. They got a 2nd round for him. They get one back for him. It's basically a wash at that point. And now they've got a shiny new toy that they've got a year underneath his belt.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens, and I think it's going down next Thursday and Friday.
Yes,
in Costa Mesa.
I'm very excited
Me
to
too.
read your reports and to see what's going on with that.
Well, thank you very much. It was good to
Well,
see you.
Good to see you.
All right. Take care.
Yep.
Lakers man 7200 says, or 72,000 says, thank you for always keeping the faithful. Updated Grant. Lucky to have you. Any correct updates on Mr. Unicorn? Unicorn, Mr. Hurd? Yeah, he's gone. I never see him anywhere. Hold on. Amin's next. I just want to get these real quick. Thank you, sir, for that. Niner, you love to hate. 5-0 says James Garbaggio to Indy for a 2024 conditional 7th round pick. Bad sarcasm, not really. I laughed. James Washington, yes or no? Sure. I mean, for a 7th round pick, couldn't hurt. To save money on the salary cap, do we have to cut Jimmy before the season? Has it impact salary cap if we cut Jimmy week 1 or week 2 mid-season? Yeah, if you cut him week 1, his that's all guaranteed. If you trade him, the salary goes to the other team. But yeah, if they want to cut him, they got to do it before the season starts. If they want to get him like they want to get him to take a pay cut, got to be before the season starts. Maybe they'll give the job to Lance and tell him, hey, dude, you got to take a pay cut. Could they do that? Would they do that? Should they do that? What's up, Amin?
What's up? I've been waiting for the Cohn book.
Man, I had to put it on hold for a couple of weeks, but it's back. It's back.
It's back.
Yeah.
After seeing what Trey Lance is doing in practice, I think Trey Lance should be the week 1 starter. I mean, what he's doing in practice, he's definitely beating Jimmy Garoppolo in touchdowns and all of that stuff. And I mean, people might say it's practice, but practice should be way easier if you're the starting quarterback than a regular game. if you're going in a regular game, it's all the starters. If Jimmy Garoppolo can't do it in practice when it's not full speed, how do you expect him to beat Trey Lance in a real life situation in a game? Like, how do you expect him to do better than Trey Lance if he can't do it in practice? If he can't beat Trey Lance in practice, how do you expect him to do in a real life game? Like, if he goes up against the Titans, or if he goes against the Seahawks, how do you expect him to do in that type of situation when the game is faster? You got to be able to outscore those teams or score and may go down the field. How do you expect him to do? I mean, Trey Lance has shown that he can do it in practice, and Jimmy Garoppolo has shown that he can't do it in practice.
True. I'm with you on that, man. I mean, like, if it's even in practice, isn't Lance gonna pull away when he can like break tackles and run and avoid sacks, all those kind of things? I mean, that was what happened with Colin Kaepernick. In practice, he was never that impressive because he doesn't really play the quarterback position conventionally. But in a game, he could play it how he needed to play it, and it worked for him for a long time. Lance can play the quarterback position conventionally as well as Jimmy Garoppolo, and that's what we're seeing. But he can also do all these other things as well. Yeah, I'm with you, man.
And I'm also like tired of people saying like, oh, he's going up against the second strings. I mean, the second strings were still good enough to make it to the NFL. I mean, those
and
guys
he's playing
aren't
with the
scrub.
second string guys.
Huh?
Think about it this way. He's playing with backups against backups. Jimmy's playing with starters against half backups. He's got all the starters on offense, and he's going up against Dante Johnson, Tavon Wilson, a bunch of backups. Meanwhile, so he has a competitive advantage.
Pass, right? That Trent Sherfield pass. Jimmy Garoppolo has like Kittle, Debo, Ayuk.
That's right.
Trey Lance doesn't have to work with that, right? Trey Lance is going up against the second strings, and he's beating Jimmy Garoppolo, right? Like, I get it if he was doing it with the first strings. No, he isn't. Jimmy Garoppolo's with the first strings. And I get that it's harder with the first strings, but he also has pretty darn good weapons with the first strings and Ayuk and Debo and George Kittle, while Trey Lance is doing it with like Ross Dwelly, Trent Sherfield. Like just the other day, that 50-yard bomb in the end zone with Trent Sherfield. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo is not doing that with the starters, for God's sakes, right? So,
yeah. Anyway, you're right. Well, I think the Niners actually feel the same way, and they're just going to surprise us. But maybe I don't know. Maybe it's wishful thinking. We'll see. I got to keep it moving though. But it's always good to see you, man. You killed it.
Good to see you too, man. It's been a while since Cohn's phone. So.
Yeah, you look like 10 years older, man. Good to see you.
Peace, I still look the same.
All right, man. Later.
All
right, hold on. Yo.
What's up, Grant?
What's up, Kenyon? How you doing?
I'm good, man. So I'm gonna piggyback off of Barry Baller.
Okay.
I don't see Jimmy's market. Like everybody's saying they're waiting for the injuries happen to these quarterbacks, but who's gonna make that move for injury-prone Jimmy?
Good question. I really think Houston, if they trade Deshaun Watson, could do it. Not because it's the right thing to do or a smart move, but because Jack Easterby, Nick Caserio were with New England when they drafted Jimmy. They might love Jimmy. They might want to bring him in and have him be the face of their organization, and so they can move on from the Deshaun Watson thing, maybe. And then maybe there's another team that gets a starting quarterback injured. Not the Colts. It seems like they're going to slow play that one, but someone else.
Nah.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't see it, but I will go ahead and go with your expert opinion.
Hey, I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying maybe Houston if Deshaun Watson gets traded.
No, I understand where you're coming from, but I just feel like that market's got so watered down, especially even after the Colts injury, where it was like, oh, Jimmy's going. No, he's not.
Kenyon, he's having a lights out training camp.
So the trade in comparison. So I'm not gonna get on that though. But one issue or something that I worry about is the issue with our O-line. It doesn't seem like we're as solid as we first figured we would be, especially with Matt coming in, and the new guys aren't playing or stepping up yet. So it's like, what can we
the two rookies aren't playing, and Alex Mack is really the only new addition. So they added a 36-year-old center, and they kept Brunskill, kept McGlinchey. We'll see.
And then our D-line, that's kind of always a little iffy with the whole Nick
That's
Bosa,
where all the injury issues are.
But it's all on the line, and you need the line to win games.
It's like 5 guys right now. It's crazy. Armstead, Kinlaw, Bosa, Ford, Ebukam, like the 5 best defensive linemen. It's like, well, they didn't really practice in training camp this year. Like, whoa, okay. Well, let's see if it all comes together week 1 for D'Amico Ryans. He's in a tough spot. He's trying to implement his new wrinkles, and these guys aren't even out there.
That's what I'm worried about too with D'Amico. We need D'Amico to, be able to come in and keep it going with our defense.
D'Amico cracks me up.
He doesn't have the guys.
When he watches training camp, when he watches it, he gets in his linebacker stance. It's hella funny. Can you picture it? He's standing on the sideline like hella funny, man. I was like, you don't need to do that, but he's just dialed in. He's focused. I thought that was pretty cool. You'll see it.
I like the way he interviews though. He interviews
Me too. He presents much better than Mike McDaniel. Nothing against Mike McDaniel, but anyway.
Maybe it's the former player in him because he, like I said, he talks the talk, and when I hear him, I'm like, okay, I got a little bit more confidence in him coming out of year one.
Absolutely, yeah. He definitely has that alpha male leader thing going on.
Oh yeah,
yeah. But I got to take the next call, then. But it's good to see you, man.
All right, have a good one.
Have a good one, man. Dave, thanks for waiting, man. You're muted. You just got to press a little mic button on whatever you are.
Unmute.
There you go.
Unmute.
There you go. How you doing?
Hey, man. Good. So I'll be as quick as I can here for you. So one, you were told to not be an asshole by Ward, but I think that
he gave me the green light. He gave me the green light.
Yeah, he did. But I think that your talent is you're a really great moderator. Like you're fantastic at coming up with content and having things for people to talk about, and that's your real strength. It's great, man. You should totally. That's your big thing. Being an asshole, everybody can be an asshole,
Good point. Everyone has one.
Exactly. So the other thing, a couple storyline ideas I thought about it. You said that at one point you did a Periscope with John Lynch, right?
Right.
So what if you brought him back onto your show and you asked him a few questions like, one, like, I don't think it's been really explored of why the Niners picked their QB. And basically, like, as you know, in Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers, he has got a photographic memory, right? And so, like, what is the strength? Like, why did they pick Lance? Like, he's supposed to be good at processing. Does he have a photographic memory? I'd love to get Lynch to talk about what it is, because, like, it's supposed to take 2 years to pick up this playbook, and he's picked it up in, 3 months?
How?
So, right, The other thing I'd ask him about, well, Mac Jones, too, like, it was admitted, Shanahan said he's going to pick Mac Jones. So it's like, why? What was the interest there? But the other thing, that interview that you did with Kroc for Blackman, when he was talking about the injuries, I don't think that topic has been fully explored, because if I'm not mistaken, Blackman was saying that the injuries that happened were from the players when they weren't at camp. So it'd be really interesting to talk to Lynch, who obviously was a player and, he wasn't super injured. Like, what's his take on it? Like, how is their off season? Because all these guys are getting yoked. They're coming in and looking huge. And it seems like maybe that's why they're getting injured. Those are thoughts. And then the final thing I wanted to hit you with was here's why I don't think you should trade Jimmy Garoppolo. Okay, so the reason why, in my opinion, is this. You've said, like, this team's been injured, like, in last 8 years. They're the top 10? So let's just say you start Trey Lance tomorrow, okay? So if Lance is starting, what are the odds that he's going to get injured this season? I mean, right? I mean, what's to distinguish that this team is not going to have as many injuries as they've had every single year for the last 8 years? So now you're stuck. You trade away Jimmy Garoppolo, and now what are you going to do? You're going to have Rosen and Sudfeld. Are they going to get the job done? They're not going to win the playoffs for you. And now, by your own words, let's just say that they have another losing record. Now, like we were talking about, well, some head's going to have to roll. So to me, it's like, and what is there out there on the free agent market to trade, right? Like, what are you going to get for cutting the salary now? There's not really any studs that are out there. So if you, and
there's studs available on the trade market.
So my point is,
here's the thing: if they keep Jimmy Garoppolo as a backup, he's got to take a pay cut. He can't be a $27 million backup. I'm cool with him staying on as a backup. Got to take a pay cut, and if he does, God love him.
Yeah,
I'm not sure he will, but I'm not sure he won't. Maybe he will. If he loses a quarterback competition and they say, look, you're the backup, we're not going to keep you at $27 million. We'll give you this. And he says, fair enough. Great.
Plus, he's got a no trade trade clause, right? So then everybody keeps talking about just trade him. Like, well, he doesn't have to agree to a trade. So, you know what I mean? That's another complication as well. And so all these things, to me, it just doesn't make sense. Like, if I'm Lynch and Shanahan and I want to go to the Super Bowl or I want to get playoffs and I want to stay employed, it just doesn't make sense right now to let him go. Anyway.
If you want to stay employed and make the playoffs, it doesn't make sense to let him go. If you want to make a serious run for the Super Bowl, you gotta go all in and use that $27 million on more than a backup quarterback.
I mean, what are you gonna? Let's say you have $27 million right now. What would you buy today?
I would. Steven Nelson's available. There are pass rushers available, cornerbacks available, backups available. I mean, the Niners are one injury to Jason Verrett or Emmanuel Mosley away from starting Dante Johnson.
Good point.
I'm just saying, I don't see them as a real Super Bowl contender right now. But if they move Jimmy Garoppolo and use that 27, that's a lot of money. You could get 5 depth pieces. That would help. And again, you could trade Jimmy Garoppolo to the Texans if he's willing for a pick and Tyrod Taylor and have a good backup quarterback. But
I mean, the trading thing just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, you don't really have a lot of capital right now. I mean, if you at least you wrote it out with Jimmy, and as you said, they're doing the best they can to prop up his value. Mm-hmm. By the time if he's playing and they are in the playoffs, like I think they could get a number 1 for him. I mean, now like the other caller's point about what value are you going to get and all that stuff. Yeah, right now. But when teams start losing, it's not about injuries. It's about winning.
Okay, but what if Trey Lance becomes a starter week 4, 7, and Jimmy Garoppolo eventually gets benched?
Sure. I mean, it's not. But I mean, here's what I think is going to happen is I think Jimmy's going to start and get injured, and Trey Lance is going to take his place, and then he's not going to get his spot back. I mean, that's a more likely scenario, right?
That is likely. But then you're just basically waiting for the wheels to fall off instead of making a decision. I don't know.
Sure. Good point. You make a good argument.
No, you make good arguments too. I've really enjoyed going back and forth with you. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks, Grant. Good talking to you.
Coming on, man. All right. Robert says competitive advantage. Jimmy Trey has been thrown to Debo, Ayuk against second at times, right? Also, I agree that Jimmy has no trade value. That is true. Not the last couple of days, though. He got 1 throw to Kittle today. Couple of Ayuk yesterday, mostly backups last couple of days. But yeah, you're right. Was there one more? Willie says, if Jimmy gets traded cut, what are the chances that it can upset Kittle to the point that he'd ask for a way out of the team? That bromance is strong. Is it? Doesn't Kittle say that Jimmy doesn't return his text? That's a good point, though. The other day we were asking Kittle about Trey Lance, and he was real like, he was very lukewarm. He was the only person that wasn't gushing over Trey Lance last week. Kittle. That is fair. I want to get Richard Kelce on the show because this dude was telling me in February that Trey Lance was the truth, needed to be the pick. I was like, I don't know. And then I came around. So hey, good to see you.
What is that, Grant?
What's up, man? What's up? Man? How you doing?
Man, I'm doing good, man. Just chilling. Yeah, man, we did it, man. I was so
How do you like the way this offseason's unfolded, right? Like just how you wanted it.
Oh, man, even besides Trey Lance, man, I feel like all the pieces we put together was perfect, man. Bringing back Deuce. And I like how John Lynch and Shanahan said, maybe not Shanahan, but, the main thing was the example of Juice. And there's an echo. Man, it's the second time.
No, you're good. You're good. I don't hear echo at all, man. You're good.
All right. So I didn't know really what I wanted to talk about, except for, man, I'm so excited. On paper, it looks
Let me ask you a question then. I know what I want you to talk about. How do you see this playing out with Lance? Since you were the first dude on Lance, theoretically, that means technically.
Man, my first prediction, I think you had put something a while back, was like he'll start game 3. I don't know how, I don't know why, but that's what came to me.
Okay.
I got a big thing with the number 3. He was drafted number 3. I won't go too far into it.
Well, you've been right all offseason. I'm not questioning it. Week 3. You heard it.
Hey, I missed on Elijah Molden, though. I don't know what happened there.
Sorry, we don't need to talk about that. We don't need to talk about that.
Hey, but that's one of my biggest worries. I don't like to talk about worries. I want to just be on the optimistic hype,
Sure.
but we'll talk about the cornerbacks. And like you were saying earlier, man, this echo, my bad, man.
Right.
But if a cornerback does go down, man, I just have nightmares about what Fitzpatrick did to it. And just, that's one of the main positions when a cornerback goes down. It's just like, the offensive coordinator is licking his chops. He's like, there's the weakness.
Yeah.
We're going over there over and over and over. So that's the one thing that is worrisome. And other than that, man, I feel like everything we did as far as I was scratching my head on the 2 running backs, but the more I'm starting to see their vision on how our front 7 is on defense and how, it reminds me of the UFC, just ground and pound. It just, I feel like we're going to be so strong on the front 7 on defense that the cornerbacks aren't going to matter too much. It's going to make it easy for them. Even if rookies do have to come in, if that front 7 on defense stays healthy, man, we're going to be a force to be reckoned with, my man. And that's going to just bode well for the whole team. That's going to take pressure off of Trey Lance when he does come in. That's going to take pressure off of the whole team. And, quarterback is the number 1 position. That's the position to me to where you can just be consistent for years and years and years.
Right.
That's where you don't have to, where you're not just tripping out every other year wondering, you could get a Super Bowl once every 5, maybe 10 years with the best defense and a run game. But at some point in time, you're going to have that deep ball. And not just throw it up to hope for a PI or something. You're going to have to complete some of those at some point in time. We can look at the Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady's, even though Aaron Rodgers only got 1, but still, you're going to have that in your arsenal to be consistent, like Steve Young and Joe Montana. And, man, it's just a beautiful time, man. It's reminded me the more and more I think about it, I just remember 94 and how stacked we were. I think about Rodney Lott back in 81, even though I wasn't alive, but he was a rookie. Bryant Young in 94, he was a rookie. And maybe this will be the 3rd time where it'll be a quarterback that's a rookie and wins the Super Bowl.
Number 3.
Number 3, let's go, man.
Richard, man, great to see you. I'm glad you called in.
Great to see you as well, too, my man.
All right, man, have a good one.
Yeah.
What's up, my guy?
What up, man? Hey, congratulations on 35K, homie.
Oh, did I make it? Oh,
last night about like 11 o'clock.
Nice, man. I'm exhausted. I have no idea. Thank you,
dude. You deserve it. Also, I want to say shout out to Bay Air Baller. He did a great play-by-play on the 2 USA basketball games, and I think it's something he really has a knack in. And everybody should check him out.
I shall. Nice.
So
that's hard play-by-play, by the way. That's super hard,
dude. I couldn't believe how good he was. Hard. I had to like compliment him like 3 or 4 times because I couldn't get over it.
Nice.
Also, Chardal has got his channel up.
No way.
Yeah.
I've been so disconnected, man. Wow.
I was the first.
I was kind of hoping that he would call in, but he didn't. Anyway,
he got off work about 30 minutes ago, and he should be getting home in about 30 minutes.
All right. Well, I'm ending. You're the last caller of the day. 49er Kid, Jaden Heilman, OG 49er 559, Bashar, Psycho Jack, Jake the Snake, Steve M, Lee, TN 49er, Chris Young. I apologize. Dinner's ready. Let's talk.
Can you? First thing, I'd like everybody to go out and sub to Chardal's channel.
Do it.
But Josh Mangold actually wanted to get on and promote his channel. So if you could make that happen, I'd get off the phone in a heartbeat.
Certainly. I don't see Josh here. He's welcome.
He's been trying to get in for a minute.
Tell him he can get in right now.
Okay. One question though. Why don't they rotate Sermon in with the number 2s and Gallman in with the number 1s to give Trey more of a chance to get that read option down?
Good question.
Because all running backs have got to plug and play with the first string anyway, so might as well just cycle them through and give the ones that are going to be doing the read option time with Trey at the same time?
Yeah, that's a good question. I brought it up earlier. I think they need to get Trey Sermon, Trey Lance doing as much read option together. I don't care if Trey Lance is fumbling it with Hasty and Gallman. He's going to be running it with Sermon. Those two have to get a lot of reps doing it together now. Is the time.
Did Mitchell do any of that?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if he fumbled with Mitchell. It's been
no, I'm just saying.
Oh yeah.
Like in college, did Mitchell do any of that?
Yeah,
in college?
I think so. He was in the pistol a lot, if I remember correctly. So yes.
Okay.
That's why they got him. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. But I was Chardal's first guest on his channel, and the video is horrible. Nobody watch it. It's a lot of dead air.
An honor.
But hey, I told him he should delete it.
All right, man.
All right, man. You have a good one.
You too, man. Great glasses as always. I really like them.
I can't get away from it. People told me I put on my regular glasses, and they were like, "Bro, it's not right if I can see your eyes."
All right, man.
All right, man.
I'm going. Jaden, Bashar, Jake, Steve, I apologize. I am ending the show now, but I promise I will do it again in a few days, and I will take your calls. I apologize. Jaden, you're my guy, but it's dinner time. I got to go. Darnay says Kittle salty because Dwelly's getting all the targets in camp. Damn straight. I try to tell you. Trey Niner says it's important to remember that the team is allowed 53 players. This team is stacked already, and I don't see anyone in free agency who can take a spot. Really? This team has Dante Johnson on it. They could definitely get some better depth. Double B Studio says if Trey starts, I feel like the players will be excited to die in battle with Trey over Jimmy. Yeah, I think so too. That's what I don't think people are thinking about. Game recognized game out in these streets. And I think these players are like, yeah, I think they want to play with the best player. Hey, Josh.
Hey.
How you doing?
What's up, Grant? How are you?
What's up? I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. I want to come on and talk about your Twitch and Discord.
Okay.
All right. Everyone on here on YouTube needs to go and check out Twitch. Real Grant Cohn on Twitch. Okay, just about every weekday you come on. Anyone that's subscribed to him can join his Discord. If you guys don't know what Discord is, it's basically just a big chat room. We have a boatload of different channels. For instance, we have a fantasy football channel, a movie channel, gaming channel, NBA channel. We have tons of different channels that you can just chat and do whatever you want. One thing specifically for your Twitch stream is we have a voice channel that you can jump into. Anyone that is in the Discord, you can jump into the voice channel and we all have like a big discussion.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's tons of fun. You can talk about anything too. You can ask personal questions to you too and stuff like that.
Like right? The way I'll use it this week, the Niners have practices Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So I'll do my reports, come home, go on Twitch first, and then come on YouTube after. So if you want to get like the real inside scoop of what happened in practice and have a discussion about it, that's where you want to go.
Yeah, 100%. It's awesome. I love it.
Josh, good to see you, man.
Yeah,
I heard you have a YouTube channel too.
I do. Yes, that's the last thing I want to talk about. I have my own channel, J Mangold. I do Panini football card pack openings.
Nice.
Like this right here. Trey Lance.
Nice.
Yeah, look at that. Let's go, baby.
That's gonna be worth some serious bucks.
Heck yeah.
A few years.
I hope so.
Nice, man.
We need to get a Rookie of the Year and then a Super Bowl this year. You know, then I'd be balling.
Nice. Well, baby steps.
Okay.
All right, Josh. Good to see you.
Right on. Thank you.
All right. Take care. Thank you very much, everyone. 49er Lakers. That was very generous of you. I really feel terrible ending the show with 6 people in the chat room, but dinner's been ready. I'll do it. Michael, I'm sorry. I'm going to do another one in a few days to make sure I get all you guys. Always a pleasure to see you guys. Take care. I'll be back tomorrow.